welcome. You're watching the News Hour Agenda. I'm Padmaja Joshi. It's Friday today, and it's exactly a week, almost around this time, that two men in Tuticorin in Tamil Nadu were picked up by the police. Their names were Emmanuel Benix, he was 31 years old, and his father Jayaraj, who was 59. Within 5 days of their arrest, they were both dead. They died of fever and increased heartbeat, or so the Tamil Nadu police would have us believe. Now, let me tell you what really happened. As pieced together by us after speaking to the family of the victims, eyewitnesses and sources. Jayaraj and Benix were arrested by the police on Friday evening, allegedly for keeping their shops open beyond the lockdown hours. Jayaraj was first beaten in lockup. When his son tried to intervene, he too was thrashed. Now, over the course of the next 12 hours into Saturday morning, these two men were subjected to the kind of treatment that can't even be described as third degree. Policemen allegedly stood on their chest, plucked out their hair, and, the family alleges, subjected these two men to anal rape with lathis. The travesty, though, didn't end there as well. This beating continued through Saturday and Sunday. Let's first listen in to what the family says.
ஒரு மகன் முன்னாடி தகப்பன் அடிச்ச மகனால தாங்க முடியுமா? ஏயா விசாரணைன்னு தானேயா கூட்டு போனீங்க, ஏயா அடிச்சிங்கன்னு கேட்டதுக்கு அவனையும் போட்டு அடி அடின்னு அடிச்சு அவனை ஆண்டவரே, ஐயோ அவனை ரத்த காயங்கள், உடம்பு முழுசும் ரத்தம், விடிய 1:30 மணி வரை அடிச்சிருக்காங்க. எங்க மாமா கெஞ்சினாங்க, அடிச்சிட்டீங்களா விட்டுருங்க, நாங்க மெடிக்கல் வச்சு நாங்க பாத்துக்கிறோம். ஆனா விட மாட்டேன், இறக்கமே செய்யல. அந்நேரம் ஸ்டேஷன்ல அத்தனை போலீஸும் போட்டு அடிச்சிருக்காங்க. என் தம்பி இறந்த போட்டோ நான் பார்த்தேன். ஆண்டவரே, அந்த போட்டோல அவனுக்கு நெஞ்சு முடி அவ்வளோ இருக்கும், நெஞ்சு முடி எல்லாம் பிடிக்கிருக்காங்க.
அடிச்சு என் பிள்ளைக்கு நிறைய ரத்தம் போய் 3வது சட்டையில கூட என் வீட்டில் கிடக்கு ரத்தமா கிடக்கு. மற்றதெல்லாம் அங்கே தூக்கி போட்டு வந்துட்டாங்க. என் பிள்ளை 2 என்னன்னு செத்தான்னு எனக்கு தெரியும்.
You heard Jayaraj's wife talk about how when she went to meet the two men in custody on Saturday, she was asked to bring a fresh set of clothes for both of them because they had bled through their lungis. When she saw them, their clothes were tattered and soaked in blood. On Sunday, their clothes were changed yet again. And then, wonder of wonders, these two men who had to go through 3 sets of clothes, such was the nature of injuries on their body, when they were taken for a medical checkup, one doctor actually refused to give them a fitness certificate. Then a second doctor, allegedly coerced by the police, certified both of them as medically fit. They were then produced before a magistrate through video conferencing, who sent them to judicial remand in a sub-jail. And it is there, in a jail 100 kilometers away from their family, that Benix died on Monday night and Jayaraj soon after passed away on Tuesday morning. And for all of this that I've just narrated to you, the torture, the beating, the arrest, the murder, what was the action taken? Police Inspector Sridhar transferred and kept under compulsory waiting. Sub-Inspector Balakrishnan suspended pending inquiry. Sub-Inspector Raghu Ganesh suspended pending inquiry. Head Constables Muthuraj and Murugan, both of them suspended and facing departmental inquiry. Remember, 2 men are dead. Their family is shattered forever. Is this punishment enough? Do you think enough for the torture and murder of these 2 men?
The News Hour at 10. Debate number 1 on Times Now. Super Prime Time.
Joining us now on the News Hour, we have Kovai Satyan, spokesperson of the AIADMK, A. Saravanan, spokesperson of the DMK, Shuchi, Radio Mirchi, she's with Radio Mirchi in Chennai, Henry Tifange, he's a lawyer and executive director of People's Watch, and Dr. Sumansi Raman. We'll also be joined by DMK Member of Parliament, Kanimori, in a bit. But I want to start by asking you, naturally, Mr. Kovai Satyan, why aren't these policemen booked for murder yet?
Yeah, Padmaja. Our government and the Chief Minister's statement is clear that justice will be rendered. Whoever has taken law into their hands will not be spared. Having said that, when is the magisterial probe which is underway, and having the Madras High Court has taken a suo motu cognizance of the same, and we will wait for the direction of the court.
Sir, all of this has
happened. Already been taken.
What? No, just a second. Of course, you will have to follow the direction of the Madras High Court. You don't have any other option. No government can say, no, I will not follow what the High Court tells me. My question to you is separate. What's stopping you from booking these policemen for murder? I'm sure you've heard what the family has said very explicitly.
Man, you heard the one side of the story. There is an investigation which is underway. 2 FIRs are being filed and they are pending suspension. And you have to go by the framework of the framework of the law.
So
and there is a police custody.
As anyone in this country knows right now, including you, I am sure, is like telling somebody to stand outside of the classroom for stabbing someone. It's as strict a punishment as that.
I don't want to go by your cinema narrative. Let me be very clear and honest with you. Chief Minister assured that justice will be rendered to them. And it will as per the legal framework, whatever it is.
Sir, within the legal framework, okay. I am going to keep asking only this one question, and I don't even want to get into the politics. You know, to say justice will be done and we will take cognizance is as platitudinal a platitude as ever existed. But, you know, I will keep the politics for later. So I want to just first go across to the activists who are on the panel right now, to the citizens' voices on the panel right now. I want to ask you, Henry. We have the AIADMK spokesperson here saying, we will do what the court tells us. Why are you rushing him? What has the government done wrong, Henry?
Well, what the government has done right is that they have done the right thing, because the Chief Minister has clearly seen that this is a case of murder and has announced 10 lakh rupees compensation per person. Now, when the Chief Minister has ordered 10 lakh rupees compensation per person and a job for each one of them in the family, that is clear that the negligence is made out, and now what remains to be done is the registration of an FIR and arresting of all the policemen in the station. Mind you, it has been, the torture has taken place not in the ground floor, in the first floor of the police station. The brutal torture has taken place using friends of police to beat. Friends of police to beat. I am saying what it is extremely clear.
So could you tell people who are not familiar with this term, who are watching you right now, what is this friends of police? Why will friends of police be called in to beat 2 men in a police station?
This is Toothukudi district. This is ADMK government. This is exactly what has taken place. Friends of police are people who are supposed to aid the police in community policing. Now, these friends of police are the brutal killers who have already killed not only these 2, but 1 month earlier, another Muruganandam.
So, Mr. Kovai Satyan, the allegation is not only did the police do what they did, but they actually used civilians for it as well. So, it's almost like an extrajudicial torture and murder.
Padmaja, nowhere in the entire scenario the government is saying that we are going to protect the culprits. Let me make it clear to the panelists out here. We are on the same page like what everybody, and we are equally like an ordinary citizen.
Mr. Satyan, you are missing the one point. You are not on the, just the fact that these policemen are not in jail today makes it seem that you are siding with them.
Ma'am, let me correct you here, Padmaja. Justice is not instantaneous, like how you put your anger and outrage on a social media.
At least lodge an FIR for murder.
There is a framework.
At least book them for murder. Nobody is telling you to hang them. Nobody is telling you to hang them. At least book them for murder, sir.
No, you cannot set the agenda and drive the law, ma'am.
Sir,
you cannot set the agenda saying that they have to be.
You are wrong. I am not changing the law, and this is where you are wrong. The law requires you to book them for murder.
Yes.
in a custodial death. The law requires you.
There is an inquiry underway. Until unless the inquiry is completed, what are the kind of charges
Shuchi.
you want to put it across?
Shuchi has been very vocal about it. Yes, Shuchi, go on.
Inquiry. Not now. During
It's
the
a
course of
case-
the
You know, when you say,
Double
Mr.
murder,
Kovai
Padmasha.
Satyan, that you are on the same page as all citizens, I've got citizens watching right now, citizens sitting on the panel, and citizens calling in right now, telling you,
I didn't have to
no,
prove that, but I can say
no,
that.
you are not
sorry.
on the
Let
same
me correct
page. You don't even know what the
I
public is
correct
thinking
you.
right now.
I will correct you. Padmaja, one thing, give me an opportunity. Once again, I shut my shop today, voicing my opinion, favoring that person. My shop is at Coimbatore, which is 400 kilometers away. Showing my solidarity, I shut my shop today. And I stood with it.
Nobody
Please
wants
don't,
solidarity,
no,
sir. People
no,
want
we are not
action.
here or whatever it is.
Solidarity comes
Why
for
are
nothing when your father is
There
dead.
are horns over here.
There is a
this
pending
about
Shuchi.
you guys?
There is a judicial
Sir,
inquiry. and-
solidarity,
I don't understand.
justice will
What is
prevail.
this about a Henry or a Sumant or a Kovai Satyan or any politician here? Is this about you guys? This is not about you guys in the first place. Whether you shut your shop or whether the other person thinks that a murder charge is not relevant at this point or not is not applicable. Two human beings have
Why
been
it is not
dragged for
applicable?
5
I am a
extensive
citizen of this
days.
land in the
They
first
have been
place.
anally
I am a
tortured.
person in the
Their
public land.
genitals have been mutilated. We know the exact details. We've been screaming, this is Nirbhaya. It's a double Nirbhaya that has happened to two gentlemen who were completely innocent. I don't understand why a double murder case is not being filed yet. It's too late already.
No, if you don't understand, then that's your problem, Sucharita. You cannot tell
That's
me
my
like,
problem?
it is not immaterial. I am a citizen of this land. I showed my solidarity. And you cannot question my solidarity and say that it is immaterial.
The entire state has-
Nobody
has
wants your
showed
solidarity. I can't believe that you think, sir, that your action of solidarity makes up for the lack of a murder FIR.
Ma'am,
What is
please
even
understand,
the
there is a
comparison
inquiry.
over here?
There is
Are you
a-
seriously
there is
Okay, just a
inquiry.
second. I think we're being joined by Kanimori right now. We're being joined by Kanimori. Just stay with me for a second because I think she's in a rush right now. Ms. Kanimori, I want to start straight away by asking you that what the ADMK, the government is saying right now, Mr. Kovai Satyan is saying right now, that we are going to stand by whatever the judicial inquiry throws up. What do you think is the lacking in the action so far?
There is a clear-cut direction by the Supreme Court in another case much before this that in the case of a custodial death, they have to treat it as a murder. They have to file an FIR. And Section 302, under Section 302, people involved have to be arrested. They have not filed an FIR and nobody has been arrested. They have just been suspended. First, the police had, transferred them to different, and then because of the pressure, they have suspended for police personnel. And that's all which has happened.
But can you blame the government
And
for
even
this?
today in the Madurai High Court, the autopsy report has not been filed. Clearly, the court had asked them to file it today. They haven't done it. They've asked for more time.
But can you really blame the government or say
What
it
is the reason?
can you say that the government is culpable for whatever has been done by the police? Where do you think the blame lies with them?
See, the Chief Minister, even before the autopsy report, makes a statement saying that the death is not because of, the death is only because of, breathlessness and, some illness. And obviously, when the Chief Minister who holds the department is making a statement like that, it leads to a lot of questions. And there is a fear which is created among the people and the family
But why,
that there will not be justice.
why do you think the government would want to stand in the way of justice or cover up?
It is not. Nobody is saying that they should. Nobody is saying that the shop should not have been shut. They should have shut the shop. They did not do it, and the police asked them to close the shop, and they've taken the father into custody. And when the son went to find out what happened, taken the son also into custody. But what happened after that?
Okay.
How can both the father and the son, a healthy father of 58 and a son of 31, just die like that in a few hours?
Okay.
Son dies in the morning and the father dies a few hours later. How was that possible? And they were perfectly healthy. They were sitting in the shop and taking care of the shop.
Okay, but I want to ask you a final question now. The Chief Minister has said that they have done whatever they could and will now follow what the court says. Are you not preempting the judicial probe when you're asking for arrest?
There is a clear direction by the Supreme Court. I mean, why can't you follow that? That is all we are saying. Why can't you file an FIR? That is the minimum what the government can do. Why can't they do that?
All right, and that, Sumansi Raman, thank you very much, Ms. Kanimudi, for having joined us. Sumansi Raman, is not an unreasonable demand. It's what the family is saying. It's what anyone who knows the law is saying. Just file the FIR for murder.
Padmaja, there are two parts to it. The first part of what actually happened, which is completely unacceptable by any stretch of imagination, where the strongest action should be taken. And second is what is happening afterwards in terms of the government response. What happened for the, for the actions of the policemen, which was completely atrocious to say the least. I don't think that you can pin the blame on the Chief Minister. What you can pin the blame on the Chief Minister is for what is happening afterwards, where an FIR has not been filed and where the men have not been taken into custody.
Which is the only thing we are saying. Simple. Nobody is saying the Chief Minister went there and beat up the men. All we are saying is now you can ensure that the law is followed, Sumansi Raman.
1 second, Padmaja. The entire narrative here has been that the government and the Chief Minister, who also sort of, has spoken about this particular issue, has to take some kind of moral responsibility and so on. That I don't agree with, because it's not, directly, he would hardly have.
He has to take moral responsibility for now these men not being arrested. Sir, I want to show you the various levels. Okay, first let Mr. Saravanan respond to that. No responsibility of the Chief Minister, Mr. Saravanan.
My point is an FIR.
Padmaja, the Chief Minister is holding the portfolio of the police department. And the Chief Minister comes and says that these guys died of breathlessness and some other medical condition. How can the Chief Minister preempt the post-mortem report? Does the Chief Minister know the cause of the death? Then why does he make it public? Does it not make him putting spokes on the investigation? And this magisterial inquiry, I think that is pure hogwash. I'm telling it again. Because a magisterial inquiry is coexistent with a police investigation. That is what the relevant provisions of law says. Just because there is a magisterial inquiry doesn't mean that you wash away with the police
investigation. Kovai Satya, no one has any faith even in the magisterial inquiry.
Ma'am, I want to correct you the statements here, if you would permit me to do so. This is the press release given by the Chief Minister on 24th regarding this. And he clearly states that, I will read it out in Tamil and translate it again. நீதிமன்ற காவலில் சிறையில் அடைக்கப்பட்டிருந்த பென்னிக்ஸ் மற்றும் ஜெயராஜ் ஆகியோர் உயிரிழந்தது தொடர்பாக கோவில்பட்டி கிழக்கு காவல் நிலையத்தில் 2 வழக்குகள் பதிவு செய்யப்பட்டு கோவில்பட்டி நீதித்துறை நடுவர் எண் 1 அவர்களின் விசாரணைக்கு அனுப்பப்பட்டது. There are 2 FIRs which is being filed, and on Kovilpatti Magisterial number 1 there is a judicial inquiry which has been initiated. Now where is the question of when there is a magisterial level inquiry underway, when the court has taken the suo motu cognizance of the same, when the evidence is being asked to be submitted today, now why are we trying to set a narrative saying that arrest them, put behind the bars, but when you are open...
Sir, you realize the court taking suo motu cognizance itself is indicative of how you failed. The court had to step in after people outraged.
What kind of a new story you are trying to say? When there is a murder, there has to be...
When you were talking, I didn't interfere. Why do you want to jump in now? Let me finish.
You made your point.
Let me finish. No, I didn't make my point.
You keep on making your point.
I'm telling you.
You keep on making your point.
Okay, wait, Saravanan, wait a second. If he wants to make a point which is going to help take this case forward, let's hear him out. Yes, go on, Mr. Satyan.
19th night they were taken into custody. On 20th morning they were produced in front of a magistrate after the completion of the examination, taking the medical certificate, and they were in the jail on 20th morning. 22nd evening after 60 hours, Benix said that he is feeling a breathlessness, and on the way to the hospital he died. On the next day morning, on 23rd, his father passed away. Within 5 hours of hearing this
Mr.
story,
Kovai Satyan, and this is where I want to bring in Sucharita as well. That is the whole point. That is the whole point, that the miscarriage of justice did not stop at the custodial torture. Two men who were soaked in blood were certified as medically fit. There should be a case against the magistrate and the doctor who gave that certificate.
Sounds like a fairy tale. That's exactly what he's reading out. He's not reading out the facts at all.
Okay, Mr. Satyan, you've had your say. Now let Shuchi also speak. Just a second. You've had your say. You say that here was a man who was fit as a fiddle. He was prancing around the lockup, and suddenly 2 days later, they both keel over and die. And their family imagines the fact that they were soaked in blood and needed 3 changes of clothes.
Can we just go through the physical evidence present on those 2 bodies? Their chest hair has been pulled out, and the reason for that is, they rolled on the floor. That's exactly what the FIR says. Their butthole has been mangled, their genitals have been mutilated, there's literally nothing in their fronts and backs, and their knees were broken. This is the kind of bodies that the parents were, that the family was given at the end of this entire ordeal. And what are we talking about? Breathlessness and fever.
When the autopsy report is not submitted yet, where do these statements narrated by you feature?
This is not narrated by, this is narrated by 200 people in that area, their family, their friends, every single person in that neighborhood is telling a lie. Come on.
So Mr. Satyan, you're saying that the families who have narrated this in graphic detail, they are either imagining it or they are lying.
Are you saying that I'm lying? Are you saying that I'm lying?
Kovai
Am I not telling the truth? Yes or no?
Prove your statement. Where are these?
No. Am I lying or not? Am I lying or not? The truth is out there. Everybody knows it. We've seen it.
A narrative, just a second. Just set aside Shuchi for a minute. Just set her aside. I am going to play out for you again, if you want, what the family is saying. Today, Mr. Kovai Satyan, just a second. This is not okay. Are you saying, Mr. Kovai Satyan, that either the family is A, lying, imagining, or C, they are delusional? Please say it on national TV. The family is delusional.
Are we lying? Are the people who are describing exactly what happened to these 2 gentlemen?
I respect your view. Could you give me 30 seconds?
It is not a view, sir.
Could you give me 30 seconds?
Yes, okay. I give you 1 minute, not 30 seconds. I give you a minute. Please tell me, but please answer the specific question. My specific question to you is, in the words of Berlin, who is Benix's sister, when she saw her brother, his shirt was soaked in blood and his body was covered in wounds. Please tell me that either she is a liar or is she delusional? Go on.
Okay, no. The statement made by Benix's sister holds its merit. The statement made by his mother holds its good. The statement made by his uncle holds good. And eyewitnesses holds good. Everything holds good. That's the reason the entire inquiry is underway. My question to you is simple. Padmaja, didn't you make an opening remark stating that one hospital, the doctor refused to give the certificate, another doctor was coerced? And
why are we changing the topic now?
Which is exactly the point. Which is exactly the point, that this was more deep-rooted. And that action needs to be taken against the doctor who certified men medically fit 2 days before they were dead.
Why everybody is talking only about the policeman?
Wasn't your question, is his sister delusional or is she lying? Why is nobody answering that?
Mr. Satyan, you still haven't answered my question. When the family says that they were bruised and wounded all over, are you saying they are lying? Because you just told Shuchi, when the postmortem report is not out, your facts are all over the place, they are imagined. Did the family imagine it?
Padmaja, it holds good, that's why there is an inquiry. But not as narrated by Sucharita.
Sir, inquiry is not A, going to bring them back, and B, since the family has said an explicit... Okay, Mr. Satyan, again, I am going to ask you, I am going to pin you down to a specific question. Here is the sequence of events. Family says, we saw the wounds. Family says, we know they died of the wounds. Please don't interrupt me. Family says, we saw them when they were alive and they were so badly bruised, they were bleeding through their lower garment. Given all these circumstances, don't you have enough ground to book the policeman for murder?
Of the worst kind, including barbaric activity, and I don't know because the law has not envisioned this
Mr.
kind
Satyan,
of
don't smile. It doesn't look very good for you.
Has never been
Don't smile,
envisioned
sir.
before. Nobody has ever thought of a crime to this detail saying, "Acha chalo, iske liye law banate hain."
It's not a narrative. It's what the family has said.
Padmaja, listen to me, two submissions.
Go on.
There is an inquiry underway. Please wait for the inquiry to complete. Whoever has committed crime or taken law into their hands, everybody should be brought into the book. This is the assurance of the Chief Minister. And why everybody...
Sumansi Raman.
Only about the police.
Sir, you know, when you keep saying that you will do what the inquiry throws up, you forget or you obfuscate that this law requires you to book these men for murder. The law requires you to do it. And you not doing it is unlawful. And you are hiding behind the judicial inquiry to not follow the law. Sumansi Raman.
In India, the favorite phrase that anybody who may have brazenly violated the law uses is, the law will take its own course. The problem is people don't want the law to take its own course. They want justice to be done. And I think that that's a very, very different thing from the law taking its own course, as we have seen. The law will go on and on for several years.
But Sumansi Raman, here even the law is not taking its course. I have a very simple request.
No.
Let the law take its course. At least book them for murder so law can take its course.
Three things.
You are standing in the course of the law. That is the simple point I am making.
Padmaja, we are asking for the first step to be taken. We are asking for step 1 to be taken, and there's so much opposition to that.
Please wait. 30 seconds. Padmaja, the Tamil Nadu police force as such is one of the best police forces in this country. There are rotten apples in the police force in Tamil Nadu as in every other state. Now, the government and the police have two options before them: to cover this up and gain further public anger and mistrust,
this discussion is ridiculous.
Of arresting these people.
We have had a case in South India which is a double Nirbhaya. This is something, this is beyond the kind of explanation that these gentlemen are providing here right now. Two gentlemen have been brutally assaulted, mutilated and murdered, and no case is being booked against the perpetrators, which are policemen, which means they should face extra punishment because they are people who are supposed to protect us.
No, I am not a votary of that. The law should be followed in letter and spirit, but Henry, that is what I have been trying to establish for the last 30 minutes, that in this case, the basic letter of law hasn't been followed. I don't understand why we keep going on and on about a judicial inquiry and we'll do what the Madras High Court tells us to, because the law is very clearly delineated. Henry.
The FIR has apparently been filed.
What has not come out clearly in this case so far is that as much as we have to accuse the policemen for the torture, we have a duty also to speak publicly about the judicial magistrate who have not personally seen these two accused.
Yeah.
It was his duty to see these two accused, especially when the FIR mentioned that they had some disease, and had there been a medical report that was also there was every reason for him to see the accused before remanding them. Now, this was also not a case for being remanded. The reputation in that particular town about magistrate is also that he tends to sign every page that is given by the policeman.
Yes.
That's precisely why they were bold enough to bring these people with all these injuries, keeping them in the vehicle and getting a remand. Now, this is a shame that I feel very bad to say it in public, but that is the truth.
Yes, the failure is at 4 levels. At the level of the police, at the level of the doctor who gave the medical certificate, at the level of the magistrate who sent them to remand, and at the political level which hasn't made them accountable and booked them. Final word, Saravanan.
Padmaja, you've been repeatedly asking one thing. The question is only this: why there is no FIR under 302? They keep obfuscating about a magisterial inquiry, a judicial inquiry, the order of the High Court. Nothing prevents them. Nothing stops them from proceeding under Section 302. That is the first thing we expect from this government. But this government, known to protect this kind of brutalities, we saw 2 years back, 13 people were killed. The Chief Minister came out and said that he saw it on television and came to know about it. That is the Chief Minister now comes and says that these people died of breathlessness and other issues. So
it's not enough.
Intense pressure.
It's not enough, and I think you've quite clearly heard Kovai Satyan. What people are thinking right now, you think that the action taken is enough. At no point is anyone insinuating that the entire police force is rotten. But wherever failure has happened, you have to take action now and book them. Please, final 30 seconds to you. Yes.
Nowhere the government has said that action taken is sufficient. The CM clearly states he will stand by the family, and who has taken the law into their hands will be punished. The point here is
there any mystery about who's taken the law in their hands? If there are 5 policemen who you yourself acknowledge have taken the law in their hands and have suspended them, then why haven't you taken further action and booked them for murder? I don't understand why you're saying we will take action against those who have taken the law. You already know who they are. That's why you suspended them, haven't you? Anyhow, I think the truth is quite clear in front of everyone. We are again ending this in the hope that you will do the simple, lawful act of booking these policemen for murder and also take action against the doctor I mentioned and the magistrate. Thank you very much, all gentlemen and Shuchi, for having joined me.